Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world. Hello, friends. So it never ceases to amaze me that so many people, for lack of a better term, are simply stupid. And the kicker is that they don't even know it. Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive and demean anyone here, but just to make a point, I'll use the word stupid for now, but we'll define it shortly and you'll see how it really fits what we're talking about. Now, intelligent people know their limitations. They truly do. They often exercise their cognitive abilities, which, quite frankly, points out to them their limitations. And so, unless they have a great deal of pride and narcissism, they understand that they are simply not know-it-alls and that their intelligence is limited. A doctor knows he is limited in his knowledge of law, and a lawyer knows he is limited in his knowledge of medical practice, and both recognize their limitations. But many people I've met in my travels believe that they are geniuses and that they have all the answers to the problems of the world, even when they can't manage their own lives on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not speaking about one's level of education either. My grandfather had to leave school after the 8th grade to support his family, but yet I've always considered him a very wise man with a great abundance of common sense. And that is really what distinguishes intelligence from stupidity. Common sense, and a good value base. Now, one of the best works I've seen that really analyzes stupidity was a theory on stupidity presented by an Italian economics teacher and historian, Carlo Cipolla. So please watch to the end, because he presents two different frameworks that help explain his findings. While as a young man, Carlo wanted to teach history and philosophy, so he enrolled in the University of Pavia. But as a student there, he found that he was drawn to economics and economic history. He graduated from Pavia and then also studied at the University of Paris and the London School of Economics, all notable universities of higher education. He received teaching positions all throughout Europe and established a long academic career, finally leading him to the United States. As a Fulbright Fellow, he began teaching at the University of California and then shortly thereafter received a full professorship at that school. Cipolla produced several essays on economics, but one of his essays, The Basic Laws of Human Stupidity, published in 1976, explored the controversial subject of stupidity and, quite frankly, was a masterpiece work on this very controversial subject. This was a fascinating essay and explored several subtopics in great detail, really causing one to stop and think, and actually explains much of the human behavior we see today. And again, we are in no way talking about one's IQ. That is a very different characteristic from this framework. For instance, in one of his findings, Carlos said that stupid people as a group are far more powerful than major organizations, including organized crime, drug cartels, or even the industrial complex. That's quite a statement, but you know what? When you examine all of history, you'll see that many of the defining events of man were actually caused by groups, and powerful groups, of stupid people. Here are Cipolla's 5 fundamental laws of stupidity. First, always and inevitably, everyone underestimates the number of stupid individuals in circulation. In other words, they are very plentiful and abundant, and we are surrounded by them whether or not we recognize it, and most of us don't because we always give people the benefit of doubt. But they are out there, and in some places, in high concentrations. Second, the probability that a certain person will be stupid is independent of any other characteristic of that person. In other words, white or black, young or old, tall or short, even with a high IQ, you really cannot tell either at birth or by any other characteristic if a person is going to be stupid. Third, a stupid person is a person who causes losses to another person or to a group of persons while himself deriving no gain and even possibly incurring losses. This, according to Cipolla, is the classic definition of stupidity, and as we'll see shortly, stupid people constantly make decisions, poor decisions, that either do not benefit themselves or others, or even hurt both themselves and others, and in that way proves that this person lacks simple common sense. You see, we all have options, alternatives. So when you pick the one that is self destructive, that is one sign of stupidity. But when you pick the option that is both self destructive and destructive to others, that is classic stupidity. Fourth, non stupid people always underestimate the damaging power of stupid individuals. In particular, non stupid people constantly forget that at all times and places and under any circumstances, to deal and or associate with stupid people always turns out to be a costly mistake. Regular people often don't experience a lot of drama or toxicity in their lives, yet they truly underestimate the power of stupidity. And, as according to Cipolla, when they associate with stupid people, they'll find a lot of drama and toxicity in their lives, and they'll find themselves in a lot of confusing and compromising positions too. And for people who often look for win win outcomes, these people may often find themselves in no win positions and wonder just what happened. And as a corollary to this is that we often assume that because someone holds a high office or powerful position in government or within a Fortune 500 company, that they always know what they're doing. But many, many government and corporate businesses fail and have consequences of poor decision making by these people. Entire corporations have fallen without anyone really understanding why. And fifth, a stupid person is the most dangerous type of person. Stupid people can be incredibly dangerous, and not just to themselves. According to Cipolla, a stupid person is more dangerous than a thief. A thief can steal from one or two people at a time, but stupid people can bring down entire governments, entire countries, without any real factual basis. And you've heard the phrase, he cut off his nose to spite his face. Well, this is the epitome of stupidity because it shows that a person will not use common sense and instead will hurt himself in some wild notion that this, in some way, will hurt others. So Cipolla designed a paradigm by which he could better show the differences between four different sets of people. He identified them as helpless people, intelligent people, stupid people, and for lack of a better term, bandits. The major ingredient underlying these classifications are these two factors. First, benefits and losses that an individual causes to him or herself, and second, benefits and losses that an individual causes to others. He said that helpless people are people who make contributions to society but are taken advantage of by other people and are often stuck in this modality. Some also call this naive people. Now, while many of these people are altruistic and enjoy giving and helping others, often they are taken advantage of or hurt in other ways, for instance, by members of their families who take constant advantage of them. Second, on the top right, is the group of intelligent people. According to Cipolla, intelligent people are those who contribute to society and who also leverage their contributions such that they also benefit in a reciprocal way. For instance, it's like making a contribution to charity, but one which is tax deductible so that they will also benefit from the charitable gift. Intelligent people always try to make it a win win proposition. The third group on the bottom right of the matrix are what he calls bandits. These are people who do things that benefit themselves, but at the expense of others, or will do things whereby they succeed while others are hurt by it. Here, like bandits breaking in for a home robbery, there is a conscious decision to do something that will benefit themselves, but at the expense or loss to others. A lot of financiers and even lawyers can certainly fit into this category. Coppola does say that this is morally incorrect, but as a win lose proposition, they are still more predictable and understandable than stupid people because they will have a pattern and are following incentives, where with stupid people, they are both unpredictable and nobody wins and everybody loses. The final group on the lower left of the matrix are the stupid people. These people often make decisions or take actions which are both harmful and counterproductive to themselves and harmful to the interest of others. So, this is why Cipolla defines them as stupid. They are people who constantly make choices that both hurt themselves and other people. They mess things up for themselves and others, often without realizing that they are their own worst enemies. For example, someone who gets offended when driving in rush hour traffic and then gets involved in a road rage incident that'll end with both himself and another car getting into an accident. It's a no win, lose lose proposition. And just a few final thoughts about stupidity. Cipolla says that people really do underestimate how many stupid people there are. People underestimate how destructive they can be to others and underestimate the dangerous impact they can have on others. People underestimate how easy it is to mistake stupidity for other things. For instance, we think politicians are intelligent because they have won prestigious positions of power, but too often their public policies, such as defunding the police, have long term, far reaching negative effects. Carlos says that there are even stupid Nobel Prize winners, that there are stupid people in every walk of life, in every ethnic group, in every class, profession, income level, and so on. There are even highly educated and articulate people who are quite stupid. So you can't predict if a person is stupid or not by looking at any of these other characteristics that they may have. Carlo also assumes that stupid people are consistent in being stupid. In other words, while everyone may make a bad decision depending on our information or if we have a particular bad day, stupid people go through life making stupid decisions, at least more often than not. Everyone underestimates just how frustrating it is to try to engage with them, and at all times and places, it always turns out to be a very frustrating and even costly mistake. Stupid people have a wide variety of tools that they use to deflect, minimize, avoid, negate, and of course, they are quite proficient in the use of irrelevant and even fabricated facts to win a debate. And very often, stupid people operate unconsciously. That is, they don't even know the harm that they are causing or have done. Again, because stupid people are fundamentally unpredictable, this is what really makes them incredibly dangerous. And Cipolla says that you can't teach stupid people. You can teach the uneducated, but stupid people are different because there is a type of a disconnect and they just don't get it and they just don't understand. So, all in all, I do believe in the goodness of man and I do believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. But once in a while, we come across people that, well, let's just say are clueless. And yes, these people can be rich or poor, employers or employees, family or friends. And yes, they can cause a lot of damage to self and others and not even realize what they are doing. Hey, be safe, be well, and remember, think before you act, and may God bless.